Good afternoon, my name is Denise Mejia. In this video, I will talk to you about The Blue Flower, a 1995 novel written by British author Penelope Fitzgerald. This fascinating work of fiction explores the lives and love of German poets, novelists in the 18th century. Additionally, we will analyze the literary elements and techniques that Fitzgerald uses in the extraordinary novel. The first part is exposition. In the novel The Blue Flower by Penelope Fitzgerald, we are transported to the heart of 18th century Germany to meet Friedrich von Hardenberg, a young aristocrat whose destiny could lead him to become the renowned poet-novelist. In this part of the novel, we meet the main character, such as Friedrich von Hardenberg, also known as novelist, his family, his studies, and his social circle, giving us an intimate insight into his life in this fascinating historical period. It is like the starting point that introduced us to his aristocratic work in 18th century Germany, where his passion for philosophy and poetry began to take shape, as well as his fascination with the spiritual. This section is the exposition of the novel as it lays the foundation for understanding the social, family, and personal context in which the story develops. The second part is conflict. The main conflict arises when Friedrich falls madly in love with Sophie von Kahn, a young girl of only 12 years old. This unleashes problems. This point marks the beginning of the internal and external struggle that the protagonist will face throughout the story. Why? Because Friedrich falls deeply in love with Sophie, who is only 12 years old. The age difference and opposition from Sophie's family become insurmountable barrier to her love. Friedrich finds himself caught between following social convention and following the calling of his heart, facing disapproval and judgment from those around him. The third part is rising action, as Friedrich deepens his relationship with the beautiful Sophie. His love for her becomes the centerpiece of his life and her art. His passion leads him to explore new creative territories as he continues his personal journey and philosophical development. During this phase, the relationship between Friedrich and Sophie becomes the central axis of the story. The growing love between them leads Friedrich to delve deeper into his art, finding in Sophie an irresistible source of inspiration. This stage marks the ascending action of the novel, reflecting that emotional and creative rise of the protagonist as his face challenge that will lead him towards self-realization. The fourth part is the climax. The climax of the story comes with Sophie's serious illness. Despite the desperate effort of Friedrich and her friends to save her, Sophie dies, plunging Friedrich into deep desolation. In this part of the story, the pinnacle of tension and emotion is reached. Sophie's illness puts the fate of her relationship with Friedrich in check. Despite all her effort to save her, her inevitable death brings the plot to a critical moment. From my perspective, this is the true turning point, the climax of the novel, as this event catalyzes change and transformation in Friedrich's life and work, marking a decisive turn in the plot. The next part is falling action. The loss of Sophie plunges novelist into the darkness of sadness and despair. He struggles to find meaning and purpose in her life and her art without her. Friedrich is plunged into an abyss of desolation and pain. This stage stands out as the falling action of the novel, as it's more an emotional descent in the protagonist's life. Sophie's absence becomes an overwhelming force that shapes her creativity and thinking, pushing him to explore the depths of sadness and emotional emptiness as he tries to move on without her. Here is as is every word written and every though formulated were an echo of his suffering, plunging him deeper and deeper into emotional darkness. And finally, we have resolution. The resolution of the novel shows how Novalis finds solace in his poetry and his search for the transcendental after Sophie's death. The Blue Flower offers an emotional and thematic closet that highlights the meaning behind the title. Like the delicate blue flower that blooms among the foliage. Sophie's death, with its petals into Friedrich's life and work. Despite her loss, known as Novalis, he finds in her poetry the light that illuminates the path in the darkness. Here is the moment when the blue flower, a symbol of the ephemeral and the eternal, blooms in his heart, leaving an indelible mark of his identity and creative legacy. Literary techniques of the novel The Blue Flower. The theory is metaphor. Sophie is known for me, human perfection, moral grace. In this case, the phrase uses a powerful metaphor by comparing Sophie to human perfection and moral grace. This comparison suggests that Sophie possesses exceptional and admirable qualities. The metaphor creates a vivid image of Sophie as someone who embodies these qualities in an extraordinary way. The second is simile. He has been trained, I suppose, as a cobbler is trained to mend shoes, or a soldier to shoot his enemies. This phrase used as simile when comparing someone's training with the training of a shoemaker. To repair the shoes or training a soldier to shoot his enemies. The simile established a relationship of similarity between the mentioned training and the skill required to perform the mentioned task. The third is simile, himself as a wife, still and species as a memorial. This text used a simile when comparing someone's appearance to that of a memorial, suggesting that the person is as still and silent as a memorial structure. The simile highlights the paleness, stillness, and lack of expression of the individual, using the image of the memorial to convey a sense of serenity and solemnity. The next is simile. Taryn Sharp looks like Jane Crow. This text uses a simile when comparing the sharp glances with those of Jane Crow, using the word like to indicate the similarity between the two. By making this comparison, a connection is made between the action of casting sharp glances and the way Jane Crows look, which helps to better visualize and understand the intensity and sharp nature of the glances. And to finish, we have another metaphor. The night is a dark power. This phrase is a metaphor because it indirectly compares the night to a dark power, attributing characteristics of power and darkness to the night without using words of direct comparison. The metaphor suggests a sense of mystery and perhaps even a certain fear associated with the night. To finish this video, I will talk about common literary elements. Plot: the story of Friedrich von Hardenberg, Novalis, and his forbidden love for Sophie von Kohn, influencing his life and poetry. Setting: 18th century Germany, aristocratic environment and literary salons. Protagonist Friedrich von Hardenberg, Novalis. Antagonist social convention and Sophie's family opposition. Narrator omniscient narrator. Dialogue reflects emotional and philosophical depth, conflict, forbidden love facing social and family opposition. Mood, passion and melancholy. Gene, forbidden love, social convention, personal fulfillment, and grief. Thank you for your attention.